The night was unusually quiet. I had just settled into my favorite armchair with a mug of lukewarm coffee, trying to unwind after a long day. The clock on the wall ticked steadily, 11:47 p.m. Outside, the suburban neighborhood was peaceful, the soft glow of streetlights casting long shadows on the pavement. Suddenly, a deafening crash shattered the silence. The roof above me exploded inward with a thunderous roar. Dust and debris rained down as the house shook violently. I threw my mug aside and scrambled to my feet, heart pounding like a war drum. From the wreckage emerged a figure, not human, but unmistakably alive. She was breathtaking and utterly alien, with skin shimmering in iridescent shades of violet and silver. Her eyes glowed softly, a brilliant turquoise that pierced through the dust-filled air. Her hair floated around her head like a halo of stars, moving as if underwater. Without hesitation, she stood and surveyed the ruined roof with a calm yet commanding presence. "I am Ziria," she said, her voice melodious but firm, echoing strangely inside the broken room. "I have come to claim my destiny. I'm your cosmic bride." For a moment, I thought the shock had broken me. Maybe I was dreaming, maybe I had lost my mind. But the reality was undeniable. Here stood an alien woman in my living room, declaring a bond I didn't understand, a fate I never anticipated. "Your cosmic bride," I echoed, voice trembling. What? What does that even mean?" Ziria's eyes locked onto mine, unblinking. "Our destinies have been intertwined for eons. The prophecy has guided me to you. We are bound beyond the stars." I staggered back, bumping into the remains of the sofa. Questions flooded my mind. Who was she? How did she know me? And why the hell did she crash through my roof like a meteor? Before I could find words, the house trembled again. But this time, it wasn't the roof collapsing. It was something else, an energy subtle but powerful. The air around us vibrated, and strange symbols flickered in the dust particles, glowing faintly and then vanishing. I instinctively reached for my phone, but it was dead. No signal, no lights, nothing. "Why are you here?" I managed to ask, swallowing the lump in my throat. Ziria took a step closer, her presence simultaneously calming and overwhelming. "Because you are the key. Together we hold the secret to survival, not just for you, but for your entire world." Her words were heavy with meaning, but all I could do was stare, feeling like my entire reality was unraveling. Suddenly, a series of lights blinked outside the shattered window. I looked up to see unfamiliar shapes, ships sleek and otherworldly, hovering silently above the neighborhood. A cold fear gripped me. "Who are they?" I whispered. "The Galactic Watchers," Ziria replied grimly. "They seek to control what we are destined to protect." I wanted to run, to escape this nightmare, but my legs felt like stone. Instead, I found myself nodding, as if some part of me already knew the truth she spoke. Suddenly, a loud knock echoed from the front door. I glanced at Ziria, who showed no sign of fear. She motioned toward the back door. "Quickly," she urged. "We must move." As we slipped through the back door into the cool night, I glanced back once more. The wreckage of my roof glowed faintly, the strange symbols still shimmering in the shadows. My life had just changed forever. Over the next few hours, as Ziria explained her story, I struggled to comprehend the reality of what she was telling. Me. She spoke of a faraway galaxy, a war between ancient civilizations, and a prophecy about two souls, one human, one alien, destined to save their worlds by uniting. Her people, the Illyrians, were not just visitors from space. They were guardians of knowledge and peace. But dark forces, the Galactic Watchers, sought to seize their power and enslave countless worlds. And somehow, I was tied to it all. My lineage, my very DNA, carried secrets that could tip the scales. The more she spoke, the more I realized how Small and insignificant my previous life had been. You don't have to believe me now, she said softly, but soon you will have no choice. Your world will need you. Just as dawn approached, an eerie silence fell. The quiet was shattered by a sharp ping on my wrist. My smartwatch, still working somehow, displayed a warning. Unknown energy signature detected nearby. Before I could react, Zeria's eyes widened. They're here. Outside, the Galactic Watchers had descended. I had no idea what awaited me, only that my life, and perhaps humanity's fate, hung in the balance. Cliffhanger. As the first of the Galactic Watchers' ships landed in the street, a squad of armored figures emerged, their intentions clear and deadly. I looked at Zeria, fear and determination battling inside me. "Are you ready to fight for our future?" she asked. There was no turning back. That's part one, intense, mysterious and packed with intrigue to pull your viewers right into the story. आप चाहते हैं तो मैं part 2 लिखना शुरू करूँ. 4.1 mini, you said no, right. Part 2 and part 2 will be minimum 2,000 words. ChatGPT said absolutely. Here's part 2 of your story. An alien crashed into my home, then claimed to be my cosmic bride, HFY. Continuing directly from the cliffhanger in part 1 to part 2, the arrival of the Galactic Watchers. The armored figures advanced swiftly, their movements fluid and calculated. The streetlights flickered as if sensing the threat, casting long, jittering shadows across the cracked pavement. My heart pounded in my chest like a drumbeat of war. Zeria pulled me close behind a rusted car, her eyes scanning the approaching enemies with laser focus. "They are the Galactic Watchers," she whispered. "Elite enforcers tasked with capturing us. They want to control the prophecy and extinguish any resistance." I swallowed hard, the weight of her words sinking in. These weren't some random invaders. They were hunters, relentless and dangerous. From her belt, Zeria drew a small device emitting a soft blue glow. "This will cloak us for a short time. We need to move before they detect us." The world around us blurred, the edges of our forms shimmering and fading into near invisibility. The feeling was dizzying, like slipping through a thin veil between reality and something else. "We have to reach the safe zone," Zeria said urgently. "There's a portal hidden beneath the old subway station. It's our only chance." I nodded, barely able to process what was happening. As we moved cautiously down the dark streets, my mind raced through 1,000 questions. Who was I? Really? What secret did my bloodline carry? How did fate bring this alien woman crashing through my roof? The city around us felt foreign now, transformed by the night's surreal events. Most houses were silent, their inhabitants unaware of the cosmic battle unfolding in their midst. I glanced back to see the Watchers spreading out, their advanced armor gleaming under the moonlight, scanning every corner with high-tech sensors. As we neared the subway station, Zeria suddenly stopped. Her eyes narrowed as a faint hum filled the air. The telltale sound of a drone. I held my breath, muscles tense. "Watch out," she hissed, grabbing my arm and pulling me behind an overturned dumpster. The drone hovered into view, its red eye glowing ominously. With a sudden burst of speed, Zeria flung the blue device toward the drone. It exploded in a burst of light, shattering the machine to pieces. "We can't stay in the open," she warned, eyes darting around. "We need to move underground." Now! The subway entrance was hidden beneath layers of graffiti and years of neglect. Zeria punched in a code on the keypad beside the rusted gate. With a hiss, the barrier slid open, revealing a staircase descending into darkness. As we entered, the stale air of the abandoned subway station wrapped around us like a cold blanket. The echo of our footsteps bounced off the walls, magnifying the tension. Suddenly, Zeria halted again. "This way." She led me down a narrow corridor toward a wall inscribed with alien glyphs faintly glowing in blue. The symbols pulsed rhythmically, like a heartbeat. "This is the portal," she said, tracing the glyphs with her fingers. "It connects to our sanctuary, a hidden world beyond your reality." I stared at the glowing wall, disbelief battling curiosity. "How does it work?" Ziria smiled faintly. "We'll find out." She placed her palm on the center of the glyphs, and the wall shimmered. Slowly, it dissolved into a swirling vortex of light and color. "Ready?" she asked. I hesitated only a moment before stepping forward, the pull of the unknown too strong to resist. The world twisted and turned around me. Colors bled into shapes, shapes melted into shadows. When the dizziness faded, I found myself standing in a place unlike any I had ever seen. It was a vast chamber bathed in soft purple light, walls lined with floating crystals that hummed with energy. Strange plants grew from the floor, their leaves glowing with bioluminescence. The air smelled faintly of ozone and something floral, alien yet beautiful. Ziria turned to me, her eyes softer now. "Welcome to Illyria, my homeworld. Safe for now." I looked around, awestruck and overwhelmed. "It's incredible," she nodded. "But it's not just a sanctuary. It's a fortress. We must prepare." For hours, Ziria explained the history of her people and the prophecy that bound us. The Illyrians were once a thriving civilization, guardians of ancient knowledge and cosmic balance. But a schism had torn their society apart, leading to war with the Galactic Watchers, a ruthless faction bent on domination and control. The prophecy speaks of a union, a bond between human and Illyrian, capable of restoring peace. Ziria said, "Your ancestors hid this secret in your genes, waiting for the time when it would be needed." I felt the weight of those words settle over me. "So you're saying I'm part of this prophecy? That I'm destined to be your partner?" Her gaze was steady. "Not just mine. Yours too. Together we can unlock powers neither of us possess alone." Suddenly, alarms blared throughout the chamber. Red lights flashed and the ground trembled. "They've found us," Ziria said sharply. "The Watchers have breached the portal." Panic surged through me, but I forced calm. "What do we do?" Ziria's expression hardened. "We fight. You'll need to learn quickly." She handed me a weapon, sleek, unlike anything I'd seen. It pulsed with energy, warm to the touch. "Focus," she urged. "This weapon responds to your will. Channel your emotions into it." Outside, the portal shimmered violently. The Galactic Watchers poured through, their armor clanking as they advanced. Ziria raised her hand, summoning a shield of radiant light that pulsed and expanded, blocking the attackers. I gripped the weapon tightly, feeling a strange power awaken. Inside me, a connection to something larger, something ancient. The battle erupted, and for the first time I fought not just for survival, but for a future I never imagined possible. Cliffhanger. Just as the tide seemed to turn, a dark figure appeared among the Watchers, taller, cloaked in shadow, radiating an aura of command and menace. Ziria's face paled. "This is Varys, their leader. If he falls here, all is lost." My heart hammered as I prepared to face the enemy, not just for myself or Ziria, but for the fate of two worlds. The shadowed figure moved with a chilling grace, his dark cloak flowing behind him like a living shadow. Varys, the name alone sent a shiver through Ziria, and now through me. His presence was not just commanding. It was suffocating, as if the very air around him twisted with dread. Ziria's hand trembled slightly as she tightened her grip on the radiant shield. "Varys is not like the others. He's a master of fear and deception. If he touches you, it's not just your body that will be broken, your mind will shatter." I swallowed hard, feeling the weight of that warning settle in my chest like a stone. The air between us and the Galactic Watchers grew thick with tension. As the battle paused, both sides waiting for the inevitable strike. Varys stepped forward, his piercing eyes locking onto me. "So, "You are the human," he said, his voice a low rumble that seemed to echo through the chamber. "The one they say carries the prophecy." I straightened, trying to ignore the nervous flutter in my stomach. "I don't know what you want from me, but I'm not afraid." A cruel smile twisted Varys's lips. "Bravery without understanding is useless." With a sudden motion, he raised his hand, and a wave of dark energy shot toward me. I barely managed to raise the weapon Ziria had given me, which flared with a brilliant light, absorbing the blast. The clash sent a shockwave through the chamber, rattling the crystals and causing the glowing plants to sway violently. The battle was no longer just physical. It was a war of wills. Ziria shouted, "Use your emotions. Focus on what you want to protect." I closed my eyes briefly, centering myself. The faces of my family, my home, the strange but compelling woman beside me, all flashed in my mind. Anger, fear, hope. I let them flow into the weapon. When I opened my eyes, the weapon glowed brighter, resonating with my pulse. I swung it toward Varys, the energy beam striking him and throwing him back against the wall. He hissed but quickly recovered, eyes blazing with fury. Impressive, but not enough. Varys vanished into a swirl of shadows, reappearing behind Ziria. I turned just in time to see his blade arc toward her neck. With a desperate leap, I threw myself between them. The blade grazed my arm, a searing pain exploding through me. Ziria cried out and retaliated with a blast of energy that sent Varys stumbling again. As the battle raged, I realized something vital. This weapon wasn't just a tool. It was a bridge between my human emotions and the alien power coursing through Ziria. Together, we were stronger. "Trust me," she urged between bursts of energy. "Together, we can unlock the prophecy's true power." I nodded, gripping the weapon tighter. Suddenly, the chamber trembled violently. The portal flickered, destabilizing under the strain of the conflict. Cracks of blue energy spiderwebbed across its surface. "If the portal collapses, we're trapped here," Ziria warned, voice tense. "No," I said, struggling to keep my footing as the ground shook. "We have to end this. Now." Varys reappeared, his form crackling with dark energy. "You cannot win, human. You are a puppet of forces you don't understand." "Maybe," I replied, "but I'm fighting for my world." And hers. With a roar, I unleashed the weapon's full power, a brilliant beam of light cutting through the darkness. Varys screamed as the light engulfed him, his shadow form dissolving into fragments. The Watchers, seeing their leader defeated, faltered and began to retreat. The chamber grew still, the glowing plants calming, the crystals pulsing softly once more. Ziria exhaled deeply, resting a hand on my wounded arm. "You've done well, but this is just the beginning." I looked around, still trying to absorb everything. "What happens now?" She smiled faintly. "Now we prepare. Varys will return, stronger and more cunning. The prophecy is awakening. And so are you. Over the next days, Ziria trained me to harness the alien energy. I learned to channel my emotions into the weapon, to sense the delicate balance between human instinct and Illyrian power. We uncovered ancient texts hidden within the sanctuary, revealing more about the prophecy, a union not just of power, but of hearts. The bond between human and Illyrian was the key to restoring peace between worlds, but peace seemed fragile. One evening, while reviewing the texts, Ziria's expression darkened. "There's a deeper threat," she said quietly. "A force older than the Watchers. If it awakens, all life could be consumed." My mind reeled. Just when I thought I understood the stakes, the danger grew beyond anything I imagined. Cliffhanger. Suddenly, the sanctuary trembled violently again. From the shadows beyond the glowing crystals, a massive form stirred, a creature of ancient legend, its eyes blazing with malevolent intelligence. Ziria whispered, "The Abyssal Warden has awakened." The sanctuary quaked again. the glowing crystals shaking violently as the ancient creature stirred from its long slumber. The abyssal warden was unlike anything I'd ever seen, a massive being wrapped in dark tendrils of shadow and flickers of ethereal fire. Its eyes glowed a sinister amber, burning with a hunger older than time itself. Ziria's face was pale, but resolute. This is what Varys feared. The Warden is an ancient guardian corrupted by darkness. If it breaks free, it will consume everything. I swallowed hard, feeling the weight of the moment settle over me. The small alien woman who had crashed through my roof had dragged me into a war far bigger than I'd imagined. A war that could destroy not just my world, but the entire galaxy. The battle within. The abyssal warden's roar shook the walls of the sanctuary. It moved with terrifying grace despite its size, its tendrils whipping out like living shadows. The watchers, once confident, now cowered in fear. Ziria and I exchanged a glance. This was no ordinary enemy. It was a force of nature, a primal terror that fed on fear and chaos. I tightened my grip on the weapon, which now thrummed with energy born from both our worlds. "We have to stop it before it breaks through the portal." Ziria nodded. "The prophecy says only the bond of human and Illyrian can seal the abyss. You and I, together." The weight of responsibility pressed down on me. Could I truly be the one to save everything? Doubt gnawed at the edges of my mind, but I pushed it aside. This was no time for fear. Harnessing the prophecy, over the next hours, Ziria taught me to merge my emotions with the alien energy deeper than before. Each strike, each defense was powered not just by strength but by trust and understanding. "Your anger alone won't defeat the abyss," she said, guiding me through ancient techniques. "You need balance, hope, fear, love, and even loss. It's all part of the power." The sanctuary became our training ground and battlefield. We fought off the abyss's tendrils as they slithered through cracks in the walls, each encounter more dangerous than the last. A moment of truth. One evening, exhausted and battered, we sat amidst the glowing plants, the weapon resting between us. Ziria looked at me, her eyes softening. "Why did you accept me? You barely know who or what I am." I hesitated. "Because you're fighting for something real, because I've seen what loneliness and fear do to a soul, and because I believe there's more to this than just war." She smiled faintly, but her gaze darkened. "The prophecy is not just about battle. It's about a bond between two souls from different worlds. The fate of both depends on it." Her words hung in the air as I realized what this meant. I wasn't just fighting alongside Ziria. I was becoming part of something far deeper. A cosmic bond, a connection that transcended species and galaxies. The abyssal warden's advance. The creature's attacks grew fiercer. The sanctuary trembled under its assault, crystals cracking and energy flickering. The watchers had disappeared, leaving us to face the abyss alone. Ziria raised her hand, summoning a shield of radiant energy. "It's breaking through the portal." I sprang to my feet, channeling every emotion, fear, hope, determination, into the weapon. The light surged, pushing back the darkness inch by inch, but the warden's power was overwhelming. Its tendrils lashed out, striking the shield, causing it to flicker dangerously. A desperate gamble. Ziria looked at me, urgency flashing in her eyes. "We have one chance. I'll channel my energy through you. You must become the beacon that seals the abyss." My heart pounded. The idea of merging our powers terrified me, but it was the only way. "Do it," I said. She closed her eyes, hands glowing as she reached out. The energy surged into me like a tidal wave, blinding, overwhelming, but also strangely comforting. I felt my body ignite with power. The weapon in my hand became an extension of my very soul, pulsing with an intensity I never thought possible. The final stand together, we faced the abyssal warden as it surged through the portal, trying to tear the worlds apart. Light and shadow, clashed in a spectacular battle, illuminating the sanctuary in bursts of color and darkness. I raised the weapon high, focusing every ounce of energy into a final strike. Ziria's voice echoed in my mind. "Trust the bond. Trust us." With a roar, I unleashed the beam of pure light. It tore through the abyss, searing its tendrils and forcing it back. The creature howled, collapsing into a pile of shimmering dust as the portal sealed behind it. Aftermath and reflection. The sanctuary was silent once more. Exhausted but alive, Ziria and I sank to the ground. "You did it," she whispered, smiling weakly. "We did it," I corrected her. The bond between us had deepened, stronger than ever. The prophecy was more than just a legend. It was our truth. As dawn broke over the horizon, I knew this was just the beginning. The universe was vast, full of wonders and dangers, but with Ziria by my side, I was ready to face whatever came. Next, cliffhanger. Just as we began to rest, a faint signal pulsed from the depths of the galaxy, a call from a hidden world, whispering secrets that could change everything we thought we knew. Ziria's eyes widened. The real journey is about to begin. The quiet after the battle was almost deafening. The sanctuary, once a place of ancient mystery and dread, now felt like a fragile refuge bathed in the soft glow of dawn. I sat on the cold stone floor, catching my breath while the echoes of the Abyssal Warden's roar still seemed to linger in my ears. Ziria knelt beside me, her gaze distant, eyes fixed on the strange device in her hand. The very source of the faint, persistent signal that had disturbed our brief respite, the signal's origin. "It's coming from the outer rim," Ziria said quietly, almost to herself. "A star system long thought abandoned, erased from most galactic records." I frowned, trying to piece together what this could mean. Why would a hidden world send a signal now, after all this time? Ziria's face darkened. "Because someone or something wants us to find it. The message, it's encoded, ancient and urgent. A distress call?" I shivered despite the warmth of the sanctuary. The Abyssal Warden had been a warning, a threat to all life. Now this signal felt like a beckoning into a deeper mystery, preparing for the unknown. We needed answers. I couldn't shake the feeling that whatever awaited us at the signal's source could change everything I thought I knew about the universe. And about Ziria. "We have to go," I said, standing unsteadily. "There's no telling what secrets or dangers that world holds." Ziria nodded, a flicker of determination returning to her eyes. "I'll alert the Illyrian Council, but they might not trust a human to undertake this mission." I clenched my fists. "Trust doesn't matter. We've faced darkness together. We're the only ones who can do this." The Council's judgment, the Illyrian Council, was a formidable assembly, composed of elders and warriors who upheld ancient laws and guarded their secrets fiercely. As I entered their chamber with Ziria, the tension was palpable. The council members regarded me with suspicion. A human daring to speak in their sacred halls was unheard of. Ziria stepped forward, speaking with quiet authority. "The signal demands our attention. It's a call for help from a lost world. Beyond the stars, we must investigate." An elder's voice cut through the silence. "And why should we send one of our own with a human? You've already endangered us with your connection." I felt the sting of their distrust, but stood my ground, because the bond between Ziria and me saved us from the Abyssal Warden. Together, we are stronger. And this mission requires more than just Illyrian strength. It needs human resilience. The chamber murmured, some in agreement, others in doubt. A reluctant alliance. After hours of debate, the council reluctantly agreed on one condition. I would be accompanied by an Illyrian guard named Kalen, skilled but wary of humans. Kalen was tall, with piercing silver eyes and an air of disciplined strength. His silent judgment was clear from the start. "Don't expect me to trust you," he said bluntly during our journey to the starship. I met his gaze steadily. "Trust isn't given, it's earned. just like you earned my respect fighting alongside Ziria." Kalen nodded once, but his expression softened slightly. We had a long journey ahead, journey through the void. The starship, an elegant fusion of Illyrian technology and human design, hummed to life as we launched into the black expanse. The vastness of space stretched before us, stars twinkling like distant promises. Ziria sat beside me, scanning the signal's frequency. The message is layered in Illyrian and human codes, intertwined like a puzzle. I smiled faintly. Fitting, given our partnership. Hours turned into days as we navigated star systems forgotten by time. The signal grew stronger, guiding us like a lighthouse in the cosmic sea. Arrival at the lost world. Finally, the ship's sensors detected the hidden star system. It was a desolate place, scarred by ancient battles and cloaked in a mysterious energy field. The planet itself was shrouded in a swirling mist, its surface marked by ruins and eerie silence. Ziria's voice was barely above a whisper. This was once a thriving Illyrian colony, lost to history. The message must be coming from its last survivor. We descended cautiously, the ship breaking through the mist and landing on cracked, barren soil. The ruins and the revelation. Stepping onto the planet's surface, the air was thick with an unfamiliar energy. The ruins whispered stories of a forgotten civilization, their architecture grand but crumbling, symbols carved into stone, glowing faintly. As we explored, the source of the signal became clear. A small, hidden chamber beneath the ruins. Inside lay a holographic recording, flickering to life with a figure I immediately recognized. Varys, the Illyrian warrior who had sacrificed himself in the sanctuary battle. His voice was urgent, filled with regret and warning. "If you find this message, it means the darkness has spread further than we feared. The Abyssal Warden was but a fragment of a greater threat, one that seeks to consume the entire galaxy." A galactic threat unveiled. The recording continued, revealing secrets that shook me to my core. Varys spoke of an ancient entity, imprisoned eons ago, whose essence corrupted the Abyssal Warden. This entity, known only as the Void Sovereign, sought to consume all life, blending worlds into eternal darkness. "The signal you received," Varys warned, "is a call for aid from the last defenders of this colony. They have hidden the key to stopping the Void Sovereign, but only those bound by cosmic unity can unlock it." Ziria's hand found mine, her grip tight. "That bond, that's us." I nodded, heart pounding. This mission was no longer just about survival. It was about saving everything we held dear. The final puzzle. The chamber held a complex device, a cosmic lock requiring the combined essence of Illyrian and human life. As we worked to unlock the device, Kalen kept watch, his usual stoicism, now mixed with awe. "This is beyond anything I imagined," he admitted quietly. "Perhaps the bond is stronger than we thought." With a final surge of energy, the lock clicked open, revealing a star map pointing toward the Void Sovereign's prison, a place hidden beyond known space. Cliffhanger. As we prepared to embark on the final journey to face the Void Sovereign, the ground trembled violently. From the shadows emerged a figure cloaked in darkness, a harbinger of the Void Sovereign's will. His voice echoed cold and merciless. "You cannot stop the coming night. The galaxy will fall." The trembling grew worse, the sanctuary shaking as the shadowed figure stepped forward, the darkness seeming to swallow the very light around him. His eyes gleamed like dying stars, cold, merciless, filled with the hunger of eons. "You cannot stop the coming night," he said again, his voice like 1,000 whispers of despair. "The galaxy will fall." I tightened my grip on Ziria's hand. The moment of reckoning was here. Every choice, every bond, every sacrifice had led to this final confrontation. the harbinger revealed. The figure stepped fully into the dim light, revealing himself, a twisted humanoid form, but corrupted beyond recognition. This was no ordinary foe. He was the Void Sovereign's harbinger, a manifestation of the ancient darkness itself. Kalen drew his blade, eyes blazing. "We fight, no matter the cost." Ziria's voice was steady but fierce. "Together, human." The battle erupted with a roar, a clash of light and shadow echoing through the ruins. The harbinger's powers were immense. Tendrils of void energy lashed out, trying to consume us. The power of unity. But it was our unity that made us strong. Ziria's Illyrian energy intertwined with my human resilience, creating a radiant shield that pushed back the void. Kalen fought fiercely at our side, his trust in me now absolute. With each strike, the harbinger weakened, but the true test was yet to come. The Cosmic Key. The star map revealed the location of the Void Sovereign's prison, a distant, hidden realm beyond known space, where light and darkness battled for eternity. We boarded the starship, hearts heavy but resolute. "Whatever happens, we face this together," Ziria said, her eyes shining with hope and love. Journey beyond. The journey was perilous. Cosmic storms and gravitational anomalies tested our ship and will. During the quiet moments, I thought back to the day she crashed into my life, an alien stranger who became my cosmic bride, my partner, my hope. The prison of shadows. Arriving at the prison, we found a swirling vortex of darkness, pulsating with raw energy. The Void Sovereign's presence was overwhelming, a massive entity of shadow and malice, imprisoned but restless. It sensed our arrival, the final confrontation. The battle was beyond anything we had imagined. Light against darkness, hope against despair. Ziria and I combined our strengths, our bond resonating with cosmic energy that even the Void Sovereign could not ignore. Kalen and the Illyrian forces provided crucial support, holding back the Sovereign's minions. Sacrifice and triumph as the battle raged. The Sovereign tried to corrupt me, to turn my fears and doubts into weapons. But the memories of every moment with Ziria, every struggle, every smile, every sacrifice, fueled my resolve. In a final desperate move, we used the Cosmic Key, the device from the lost colony, to seal the Sovereign away once more. The darkness recoiled, shrieking in defeat. Aftermath. The galaxy was safe for now. Ziria and I returned to our home, forever changed. Kalen, once skeptical, now considered me a brother in arms. A new beginning, our story became legend, a testament to the power of unity, trust and love across worlds. The Illyrians and humans began to forge new alliances, inspired by what we had achieved together. The lesson: in the vast cosmos, differences are many, but it is the connections we forge, the trust we build, and the courage to face the unknown together that define us. No matter how dark the night, the light of unity can never be extinguished. The end.